Welcome to the Seven Crosses series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 28th of February 2013. What I want to do in this part is switch on the traffic management element of the water and sewage update, which is currently in the beta test branch. And then what we'll be doing is just taking a look at the signage and maybe playing around with it a little bit. But first, an apology if my voice sounds a bit odd. It's down to the fact that I think I'm starting to develop a cold. Hopefully it's not the other thing that could be a bit worse. But I just seem to be getting a very congested nose at the moment. And the other thing, also, a big thank you for all comments and feedback. You guys give me so much to think about, especially those of you who have put in comments related to the new water update, especially related to your experiences, because you've given me a few ideas about how we're going to try and manage that element. Also, what I've done is I've taken this map, made a sideways copy of the save game, and did a little bit of experimenting with the water enabled, and that's given me some insights to some of the preparation I need to do before we enable that water production. Now, before we switch on the traffic manager, I just want to give you a bit of an update. If you look at the top here, you can see we've lost a lot of population because the winter was pretty rough for two reasons. One is the constant power problems that we've got up here. You can see the power keeps fluctuating in and out, and because of the extra demand during the winter, it got really bad here. In fact, I think if we come in here, you'll see that the happiness is really low. And the other problem we also had was related to food. And I think, and one thing I've noticed is that what you've got to watch out when it says there's like no kindergarten and things like this and hospital. That's because the power's going off. But we did also have a food shortage up here and that also affected Stilton here. I think the food is starting to arrive now, but it's still pretty weak. And the reason for that is that getting the food down to Stilton and then up to over here during the winter. But I don't think there's much I can actually do about that at the moment. We're just gonna have to grin and bear it. And one thing I am gonna try and do before we actually switch on the water update is get all this rail network built through here to try and get the connections available, because we're going to need to get the food around the map. But I'll talk a little bit more about that. This is first things first. Let's just get in, and what we're going to do is go to game settings. We're going to make the traffic simulation complex. And so we've now enabled the traffic simulation. Now, now, as somebody said in the comments, this doesn't really change very much within the game because we already had access to the signs and traffic lights. What it just means is the vehicles respond in a more complex way. And what I'd like to do is try and kind of put some signposts here, because what I'd like to do is try and get the trucks not to come into this area. So this is one of the first areas where we're actually going to put some signs up. We've got to find it. I think it's no buses. Where is it? Other than supply. And I think what I want to do is just kind of put, I think this one can go all the way up to here. And then what I don't want is trucks coming into here. So what I'm trying to do is create an area here where we won't get trucks taking shortcuts through this area here, but at the same time I want the trucks coming in here. Just going to play a bit faster because we've got to pile up plenty of cash. Somebody actually did say in the comments that I'm going to need a lot of money. You can see I've got 556 million at the moment, but I'm still not convinced that is going to be enough for what I want to do. So hopefully, where's the, can you actually see the traffic signs? Oh, switch to this on, you can actually see where the traffic signs actually are. And let's have a look at what we got here. There's no overtaking by heavy goods vehicles. Entrance to city, I'm not exactly sure. I think that's just the speed limit zone. I think that fits the continental. Here in the UK, the speed limit is defined by the fact you're in an urban area, unless there's signs to tell you otherwise. We got road sign, speed limit, limit zone, place crossroads, no signs. It says crossroads with priority roads. I thought you could. So it looks like the priority is only in certain places. Whoops. Then we've got no heavy goods vehicles. Well, I can't see me banning that. No vehicles pulling a trailer. I can't see us using that. No vehicles with no overtaking. No motor vehicles. That bans it. No pedestrians. Road sign. No personal cars. That could be quite useful. No buses. No agricultural vehicles. That's the waypoint. End of restrictions. I suppose what we could do is, do we have to put this on this side like this? So we can, just in case. Just put this on. I think I might have missed a road here. I'll just put you this way. Well, I think the traffic is flowing there a little bit. I think what's happening now is where before they just used to drive straight through. I think looking at this junction now, it kind of shows that the vehicles come up and stop. So what we could do is put a junction here and see how that changes it. Let's see. Of course there's no traffic. Okay, we've got a test here now. Yeah, so it's the guys. So if you've got a junction here where you've got a main road where you want things coming backwards and forwards, by putting the yield signs on the minor road, that gives the priority to that highway there. I don't want to go completely crazy with the junctions. Maybe we can do something similar down here. I don't think we've really got the traffic flow here. I think that would be a good one there. That gives us the priority there. Maybe there. That one I think would be awkward. Put one there for the bus stop. Got that flowing through there. I think that's reasonable. Let's have a look at the population situation. You can see the main reason I got through the winter was down to the fact that we had lots and lots of over 21s, and we're starting to recover again now, although we've still got quite a lot of escapees, but that's because of the over 21s, I think. And you can see that the escapees have kind of peaked up a little bit there, but we're rebuilding the population at the moment, which is good. Now, if I come trying to remember. Oh yeah, if we get back over here, I think we were. Is it? I think we were building an orphanage here, so we need to get food supplies onto that. We just find the store. What are you? You're delivering clothes. So get you onto there. You can deliver the clothes. I think this was the one that actually delivers the food. Yep. So you need to come into there. Gonna get quite a lot of kids here. We need to influence them well. So we're up the loyalty to 55%. I think we'll probably use a refrigerator truck to actually, how many spaces has this got? 2 spaces, so it's good. And then we'll just go back down to here. I'm just going to use the refrigerator truck to deliver the meat here. Well, just get in here. I don't think I've actually got a production for refrigerators. Trucks, where is it? Fire truck, livestock, prison. Why don't... Oh, there it is. Refrigeration. We'll just put you in there. You can go up. And you can pick up from... You can pick up from there. And then you can drive all the way across to here. And then you can wait until unloaded. And then what that will do is keep these guys happy. Right, we got the clothes in already. And we're looking good. This is one of the new technical offices, but the reason I put this one here isn't because I actually want the water. This one is down to the fact that when I was checking the winter, that we had a little bit of a gap with respect to the what we call it, the snow plows. So we're going to need to make some more snow plows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So we got that. I mean, I've already got quite a few being built that have been built, but I've got a couple of other technical offices that are across the map. So we're just going to get back over to here because I had a really good look round, because what I want to do is get my technical office coverage as good as possible for keeping the roads clear, because I've got a strategy for when the water comes in. And because one of the things I did find for my test play is actually laying the drainage, and it's going to be a real pain in the neck, to be honest. So we're just going to get all the snow plows out here. Get that done. Keep adding them. That there. Oh, right, that one's now full. Now, I've been thinking about how I'm going to be doing the water, and I think trying to get all the pipes in one go is going to be a little bit tricky. So what I'm considering is building a water supply technical office in every city, so that we've got because I think the big one's going to be sewage disposal, because I mean, I can't show it to you because we haven't enabled the switching, but the gradients that require to dispose of water is a little bit icky. And the other thing I've also found from testing is that sometimes the buildings don't empty even when you've got a disposal. So what I'm thinking is to have a kind of a technical office backup. In fact, let's put one in here. I think we got some space for technical office. So if we put one in here, I mean, I think that we can put you in there and we'll build you up. And the other thing I've also had a few problems with is both the water purification and the sewage treatment facilities. So what we may have to go for is a bit of a Victorian solution to begin with, where we're going to dump the sewage into the water untreated, and then we'll sort out the water cleaning and purification process going forward. Now that kind of leads into the next thing I want to talk about, which is the actual food supply, because the food factories, when we switch water on, will require 97% pure water. Now the problem's going to be is actually providing that pure water, especially up here. So we may have to put a water treatment plant here, but what I don't really want to do is get everything wrapped up in an industry. I think we'll be okay here. So we'll probably will build a water treatment plant here. The real problem here is it's very flat. But what we do need is the pure water into these food factories. Now, as far as I can tell, although I can't prove it, is that we won't need to rebuild these. But the real problem is going to be down here. We've got stop production. Oh, don't do this to me. What's going on? It's just fluctuating a bit. Now, the problem I'm going to have here, which is the reason why I built this technical office here, is the fact that we've got to get pure water to the food factory. But at the same time, and what I'm thinking is that I'm based this game. This is all very much based on an assumption that if we import pure water and supply it to the food factory here, and then what we might be able to do is use slightly less pure water, which we can get from a gradient supply from up there, can go into the town. And then what we could do then eventually is do an integrated water supply system. That's the idea anyway. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I've got a feeling that implementing the water is going to be a little bit of a painful process. And what I'd also like is we've got a technical office there, and what I would like to do is put another technical office out here. So just come here, put technical services just there. Maybe I'd like it to be attached to the power. Right there. Kind of. No, I think it'd be okay like that. No, actually, we will push it back a little bit like that. Thank you, game. And we'll just hook that up. Now we've got the road crew here. It's still functioning. I think, yeah, these guys should have picked that road up and build it. But what we will need to do is get the what we call it, helicopter crews, building that. I think what I'll do is I'll just work around the cities and talk about what I'm thinking as a solution. So the idea is that this one will be bringing in the water, the fresh water in. That's all it's going to be doing. So we're going to have this with water tankers. This one will be providing the sewage coverage should there be any gaps. That's the idea anyway. But at the same time, what we'll be doing is putting a fresh water supply in from this hill so that we got gravitational flow. Although we may have to use pumps as well. Now, Ollerton is going to be a little bit more complicated because, and this is one of the ones that I tried to set up, and trying to get a sewer line from here all the way across to here to dump it is going to be a little bit tricky. So, and again, this is another reason why I want to put in a technical office here to deal with any complications. Now we got a reasonable little bit of a hill here. If I press F2, it's just here, which I think right on the top here will be the pollution is quite low. So what I want to do is put another technical office here. In fact, I think I'll put two in. So we'll just put one. We'll get one on this side as well. Yep. So we're going to put two technical offices here, and one of them is going to be exclusively for sewage, because what we may have to do is truck the sewage all the way over to here for disposal if I can't get the pipeline to work. I mean, it's going to be messy. I mean, there's no point pretending otherwise. Now, if I come over to this area, technical office that's already got water on. I think we probably need to get rid of one of the. In fact, again, I made a bit of an incorrect assumption here, because I thought we could hook the technical office to the customs post, but it seems we can't. Then what we'll have to do is put the technical office, once we build the necessary pickup points, then what we most likely going to have to do is use tankers and sewage trucks to send the stuff to the border. In fact, I think what we'll do is get this into balance. We'll send you there, put 2 in there, so we'll put 2 in there, and then eventually we'll get 4 sewage trucks. And talking about sewage trucks, we've got to go over the direction of Colville anyway. What we'll do, problem. What's this? Is this the? Yep. We are getting really serious power fluctuations now. I think what we're going to need here is, from a priority perspective, right? I've actually got a bus for this. Apologies for going all over the place, guys, but it's just so much. Oh, I thought I built a bus. Okay, we're gonna have to just get a little couple of mini buses. I don't want a massive. Get a couple of those up to here, and I think we've got a workforce coming in here. So what we're going to do is just pick you up there. And we'll unload you there. Actually, I've just had a little bit of a thought, so I'm trying to release you. Release you there. Now this is a very short distance, so what just occurred to me is we can try out the new wherever it is. I think I mentioned it in the previous part, and absolutely no idea where it is. I think it's related to bus end large. So this is the small one. Wow. So what we'll do is we'll put you there. It's not gonna play, is it? So we'll just get you there, and we'll get the road crew on it. I'm not sure if you or detection range is good enough. Oh yeah, you picked it up automatically. So what we'll do is we'll just let the workers get out of here. While we're doing that, we're just going to come back over here, and I can find sewage. What we're going to need is a big pile of sewage trucks as well. You can see Nova's put in the sewage truck here. We got the sewage steamer. It looks like we've actually got a couple of other mods that have been updated as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. What I want is 1362 year 92, so that's the one we're going to buy, and then we're going to get into the sewage truck business where we can find it. Where are you? There we are. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Now if I can remember where the other technical offices are that I put in, I think there's one here that needs some vehicles, because we need to ensure the coverage. I don't think I need all 10 vehicles, but we need some here, because this is on this corner here, and there's a little bit of an impact due to fire coverage. So we need to make sure that we put in 5 in here. 2, oh that's, I think it's 3. We can put a couple more in. there. And see if I can find what we got. Let me just see. I think I put, there's one needed. No, that one's already been populated. Oh, we'll find it as we go around, guys. So I don't want to spend all the time hunting for the various bits and pieces. Let's see. So we're now producing power here, and if we come to here now, we should. We got fairly stable supply. Oops, sorry. Because we're now pushing in power to here. What that should do is take some of the pressure off of here. Wow, why is this glowing? I think my rail transformer's getting a little bit. But what you see now is we're getting some back feed into here now from that solar power plant, which is taking some of the pressure off of the power station here. So hopefully that will ease the situation, and more importantly, what it will do is make this area stable. And wow, I'm starting to think whether I might need to. Trouble is, I've got this nuclear power station which I want to build. Okay, let me just see. I think that is this. There was that corner that was really hot, but you can see that these are still kind of struggling up very close to the cutoff point. But I think now the power is running this way as opposed to running that way. What we may need to do is put another solar power plant in. Also, I recognize that I'm cheating a little bit in the sense that because the daylight's on all the time, you don't have to consider the implications of the how can you say, of the fact that the night cycle. I just want to take a quick look at the power here. Yeah, I think the power has kind of settled down a little bit. What is going on here? This building without a power supply. Why don't you have a power supply? It's just, we have to use our new planning overlay. Let me just check this. We've got a little bit of a blind spot here. This is the nice advantage of this new planning overlay. So you've got a little bit. It must be just on the fringe of the power supply, but you're not, which is not good because this isn't working as efficiently as it should do. So we're going to need to get some power in. The trouble is I don't know where we've got a power takeoff. Let me just see. Oh, come on, game. Don't do this to me. Got a power takeoff there. I'm sure I put a... a transformer there, but I don't want to bring the power all the way in from over there. Couldn't have used up all the connections here, have I? Seems I have. We could put another secondary connection there, and we could put another power connection here. We've got this one here. Just check this. This has got a full set of connections. Going to be a lot of building just to put in. I don't really want to. I think what I might do is if we come here. What I want is to, I suppose I could power these buildings here with, trouble is it's going to create an intermittent, it's going to interfere with the, that's the configuration I'm looking for, is to power the church and the, just the heating plant from there. So if I do something a bit crazy like that, again we're just, oops, don't that. We're just put a, I think a little wind turbine there. I think what I will do is, this road is now finished. We're going to put technical services here. Now, this is going to be for clearing the snow, because we need to keep this area clear. So we'll just make sure that these guys have picked up on. This is the road crew. Yep, he's picked up on that. They're actually doing really great here. Actually, let me just check, make sure this guy is working hard out here, because we're probably getting close to his range. Yeah, he's at 3,000 meters, so gonna make it, need to make him make that connection. We've got the road connection through to here and to there. So while we're here, we need to, that's a footpath connection. That would mean that this has to be a footpath connection, doesn't it? Because I built this so that I could access from each end. So you need to come down there. Up to you. Then we've got a road connection there. So this is a footpath connection. Actually, let me just check. That's the road connection there. So you need to come in there. Accept that. We need the footpath connection. Come in there. Accept that. Oh, sorry, just built it by accident. Didn't mean to do that. That's a footpath. Sorry, that's a road. So let me just put the road connections in here. You're gonna have to come out this way, aren't you? We'll just get that there. So many things to do. Oh, you can get through. Sometimes it pays to. It says we can. But then if we just trim that back a little bit. Get you there. You can hook to there. Of course, these are the pipe connections, so that can go there. Except that. This is still being built. This all needs to be built in as well. On that one and that one. A little bit far out. Of course, we're going to need to get more power out here as well. Just get back to here. Right. That's the one I built by accident. And then you need to hook to there. So we've now got, should have all the connections here through to here. But well, this, because these have been built, I'm not sure how they got built, but I think it's just the construction crew on automatic. Just gonna, of course, what we're going to need to do along the front of here is actually put in the roads to connect up to here. You can come there. You can come there. You can come there. You can come there. Get that go. I certainly would like one of these chemical batteries working before I turn the water on as well. Okay, we've got some road connections to put in here. You need to come. Yeah, I think that road's not connected. So this is these are the. You can come in like that. This one's not quite ready. This is still, no, this is built. This is good. Whoops. You can come there. You can come there. Thank you, game. You can come there. We can get all these connected in. This is the rail station. We connected that a long time ago. And then once this road's finished, we can make that connection. That connection's done. That connection's done. Right. So that'll keep these guys out of mischief. I think it's probably a good time now to just check what my rail construction officers are up to, because they were working on fairly specific tasks. Okay, they're out with jobs. One is where are you building? Okay, let me just find where you're meant to be building in. I think this guy was doing really well. He needs to build that. This is all built out here, so we can now get you building that. Of course, this all needs to be electrified as well. That needs the back curve, and then what I need, oops, sorry, getting lost in my own map again. I mean, the map's getting so big. I want to get this area finished before we come back. This is all built, but we've got the guy working on that. It looks like he's still working on that. So what we'll do is get. What is that saying? What is that saying? It's not connected. Okay, because it's not connected there. That's okay. That's no problem. That's that side done. We're over here. We're still getting fire extinguisher, building on fire, and stop production. Okay, so we're getting rid of the missing power situation, but things are still not perfect. Right, just check what these guys are up to. This guy is doing something. He's building the line into from Nuclear City, and then this one is he's literally building the connection through to here. So we should be able to get this connection in. So we've nearly got the connection here, which is good, and that's the one connection I do need before we can switch water on. This guy is finished his job up over here. So he was working on where? That's all the power station and everything here. So he was working on this area here. This area needs to be electrified, so he needs to do that bit now. Let me just see what we've got here. Right, this needs to be electrified as well, so we can take advantage of the train coming out here. Come in here. And we can do that 2 bits there. Do I need a crossover here? I'm not sure, because the train from the distribution office can make up its own mind about where and what it wants to do. And next thing I want to do is just, this is not quite finished yet, but it's getting there. So eventually we'll have this extra chemical plant going. Now, another reason why I want to get the trains sorted out is, sorry, we're going to dash across the map again, because we're going to need to purify the water up here, which means what I want to do is get a nice supply of chemicals into here so that we can actually do the supplying. Okay, we got a fire here. What's actually burned? Oh, come on, come on. We got the fire crews coming. Come on. You can't afford to burn this down. That warehouse is just too important. And the idea is to get a supply of chemicals in this area so that we can keep things going. There's so many things to think about. We got this here, so this has now got power. I know it's a little bit sneaky. It means our little church here is going to have power as well. Church is probably feeling a little bit isolated. We're back up to 70,000. And we've got over 1,000 over 21s again. What I'm thinking now is if we come to... I want to start putting together some accommodation and stuff here. I want to check the hospital coverage. Yeah, we got good hospital coverage here. So we got that there. What we can do road-wise is come here. And I want to kind of keep a little bit of space just the back here, like that. And we're just going to hook that road up there. We got that bit there. Got technical services there. And I'm starting to think that we need some accommodation in here. And this town's going to need to be a little bit bigger than the other one. We've got hospital coverage. We've got that in here. Although we need the power supply, but we're okay because we got this here. And we can run the power from one of these in. I think we're just going to design a couple of buildings. So I'm going to go back to modded residential buildings again. So where can we go? So many buildings. I'd like to kind of keep a theme going. It's 95 workers. I don't really want to use the council flats again. What we could do is that, because we've got this established, rather than go for multiple buildings, what we could do is go for some of these. Say, for example, a couple of really big blocks like this. So if I say, for example, I put, because this is where our workforce is going to be. So say, for example, I quite like the idea of this. What's the quality of the building? 85%. Maybe that is a little bit too dominant, is it? I don't know. Let me just see. Got some smaller kind of flats like that. Let me just come back this way. Wow, how about one of those? These are the ones I have been using. These are the ones we were using in Stilton. I fancy ringing the changes a little bit. Actually quite like that, actually. It's kind of got a double angled type look to it, doesn't it? I think what we'll do is we'll put a couple of these in, take advantage of, so we'll put it, say, one there, and I think, because what we could do is the snapping on. I think the problem is that everything's a bit angled, isn't it? Say for argument's sake I put one there. And we put another one just slightly back like that. I mean, that gives us close to 1,000 people just in that area there. And then what we should be able to do, if I plan this right, is we should run a road through the center like that. You can hook round like that, and we'll just hook this up like that, and then I think that would be our starting accommodation. And then, because we got about 1,000 people in here, we're going to need a fairly big school, which I'm kind of a bit inclined to put in here. Again, we'll mod up a school. That will take 2,400 pupils. Amount of students. That a little bit over the top. That one's actually bigger than this one. This is 2,400. Let me just see. 45. I don't ever recall building one of these, so I think we're going to put one in just here, just for the fun of it. And if we put it in the center, that would mean that if we put blocks all the way round to accommodate the population right across up, you know, the workers to go up there, this school, we should only need the one school. Because one of the downsides of the water updates, you seem to have to connect water to everything. So I'm trying to leave some space for water as well. Kind of looking for, I think we'll go a little bit over the top with the kindergarten as well. We'll just put the kindergarten on this side. And what we'll probably have is a little bit of a natural break here with respect to between the two towns. So it won't be one long town, it'll be two kind of towns or cities side by side. I think would be the best way to do it. So we've got hospital coverage, we've got school education. I'm pretty sure the secret police should provide the coverage, and there's also the law court so we don't need to put that in. We're going to need some sport related stuff as well. I think we'll go with the usual indoor swimming pool. Well, indoor. Oh, one thing, yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this. There is actually now. I'm sure, was it a cinema? But there's now. They've actually changed the cinema. That's it. It's not. They've actually put. This is the new form of cinema. We'll put one of these in. This is available with the new update. So just, yeah, they've what they've done is put this in to give it a bit more character than that usual kind of little bit of a block there. We put a sneaker cinema in there. They actually increased the capacity. Now it's still 150. The other thing that's now available, I'm not sure, I can't remember where you mentioned it now, but there's actually a small courthouse now. Yeah, there's also a small police station as well, which is part of the vanilla game. I think the devs have put these in to assist when you're actually starting out, so that you don't have to put, when you're building your first small community, you've got an option now for that. So we've got the cinema for culture. We can put the indoor pool up here. I think that will work. Yeah, we're putting indoor pool here. And of course, what we're going to need to do is get power into this now. So, put in power supply. In fact, I'm tempted to kind of double up the power supply. Say, for example, we'll put power, because we got the power connections there. So, say for argument's sake, I put a power grid there. Actually, we can put it down about here, like that. And then we can put another one just up here, feed onto this side of the area, and eventually we can put another one out that way. We'll use a little bit of a mud road, that one. We'll connect this one in once this road's been built, and then we can, this one I think we can just go out like that, connect there, and then I think what we'll do is this one will go underground from here. Except you. Oops. And we'll just assign that and that, and just come up again, get rid of that, pressing the wrong buttons, and we'll just get the power in here straight away. And of course, I think, well, we're on the 25th of July already. But then again, I've been letting the game quite happily power away all by itself at the moment. Right, we've got our 2 distribution offices here. Supplying clothes. We need to put you onto there. You can supply clothes. And I think it's clothes and electronics, isn't it? Yep. Oops. And then I've got a feeling my helicopter crews don't have a lot to do at the moment, because they seem to be coming in very, very quickly. So just while we're here, let's just take a quick look. So we're not overflowing with the orphanages, which is good. So we should have got that under control. Let's have a quick look. Our average productivity is 104%, and considering we've only got a happiness of 70%, I think it's the combination of happiness and loyalty that gives you that average productivity. Lifespan is pretty good as well. We're still getting quite a lot of escapees, but I'm not exactly sure what's causing that. But we've got lots of births. I think some of the escapees are actually prisoners who are being released because they've got no accommodation to go to. And this is a little bit of a bonus, that if you want to get your keep your crime rate low, is if you've always got over 21s and there's no spare accommodation in your economy, I think the criminals just go away and be criminals in other countries, so they don't bother you here. So I think that is pretty good. Let me just come up to here, get these guys, just make sure these guys are this guy's on the case here. Yeah, I mean, they're making the connections here pretty good, actually. In fact, it looks like they're picking up all this stuff, so I'm just going to let these guys just do their own thing, I think. So they've already built through to here, to here. It's actually, let me just put, I think that one there might be a bit of a problem, so, because, there's no pathway to that construction. I think it's because we need this road built, so we need that built. Here's a road. That's a footpath. Ah! Come on, game. You're not going to do this to me, are you? Let me just see. I don't really want to redesign the whole of this. Sometimes the helicopters crews can be a little bit temperamental. Yeah, you got to be kidding me. I thought I was being so smart here. Let me just pause while I'm thinking about this. Don't know why I'm pausing, but we're going to need to knock that down. And then we're going to need to delete the conveyor. We need to remove you. Let the game run. Get rid of this. You're gone. what we're going to need to do now, and hopefully this is going to work. If it doesn't, life is going to be a real pain in the neck. Okay. This is the problem I had when I built this in the first place, wasn't it? If we get a road connection to this side, I can get a redo this. There we are. So I have to do that. Then we're up here. And hopefully you will connect to there, except that. And then this is where the fun bit will be. Overlaps with existing construction. Alright guys, I'm just going to work on this and I'll be back once I've worked out how I'm actually going to do this. Okay guys, welcome back. I think I've... no, still won't do it. Alright guys, I think I've finally cracked it. The only thing I need to do now is get a footpath connection down to there. Yep, the problem is the road connections. So if we get that in there, whoops, that for the conveyors. Right, and what we'll have to do is get the helicopter crews up here, and then hopefully we'll be able to rebuild this. Just want to check. Well, we can't check that. Just check to see where. Yeah, this can now be assigned. It took a little while to get there, but we finally got there. I've also realised that I'm going way over time again, so we're just going to have a quick Skype round, check my rail construction offices again, just to make sure that see that they're actually doing something, and then that's where I'm going to call it. This guy is quite happily building that out that way. We need to get, what else can we get these guys working on? This is being built out that way. This is now finished. I think what we'll do is we'll get one train working on that. And I think what I'll do off camera is I'll plan the electrification of this area. Then we'll just scoop very quickly over to Ollerton. Not Ollerton, Stilton. See what these guys are up to. These are still laying track. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. I think this solar powered power station is now making a massive amount of difference in power supplies in this area. Yeah, everything's green across the board. This one's, yeah, we've kind of, this is warmed, getting a little bit hot actually. Maybe we need, wow. I think what we might need is a second power pull off here. We just see if there is one available. Nope. One's only got one power pull off. Okay. Anyway, as long as this keeps this on the green, I'm quite happy for this to run in the red. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.